When you combine a person that has ADD or ADHD, a body image problem, and no family, and not much to do, you get someone who, I guess, just rides their bike every day. Because even if it's really blisteringly hot right now, I just have to get out here and ride my bike, be outside, doing something. And this is from someone who used to probably spend majority of their time playing video games and watching TV or movies. But something shifted in me over the years, and I just can't do it anymore. Maybe at night if I'm really tired and I don't have anything really going on the next day, like no real work, I just can't do it. So here I am. It's like 100 degrees. I am so tired, but I'm still out here pedaling away, but at a pace of like a walk. So maybe that's okay. And even if it bites me in the butt at work tonight, which could be miserable, you know what? You just sometimes gotta power through. And look at this view. It's way better than a couch. Thought that blue Subaru was gonna totally come out on me, but I have my camera ready at least. I should come out and do some of these trails, because that might be a good addition to just riding the bike every day. Maybe you use a little different muscle groups, and this trail looks pretty nice. And 3.5 miles, that would be a good distance for Kylo to join me on. But anyways, it's funny, someone was saying I had like such an expensive setup and yet I'm stealing lemonade when I just put like a drop in my bottles. Because what am I gonna say? Like, hey, can I pay for 3 ounces of lemonade in my water bottle? But this is a 2021 S-Works Tarmac SL7. Which I got used consignment, a pretty good deal. And then I got the handlebars on closeout from Pandapodium. Saddle I've had for 5 years. Pedals probably 6 years. I even buy all my cycling clothes refurbished from Velocio. Or now that I found out there's a China brand that's $50 for a jersey. Everything's pretty cheap, but yet it is still expensive, so I guess maybe that's why I have taken some lemonade from some gas stations. But you know, when you're doing 100 miles and you stop at like 6 gas stations, that's a lot of microtransactions. But I appreciate being called out on just kind of being an asshole in that regards. But hopefully God will forgive me for my transgressions with the lemonade and probably stealing their ice and water as well. Anyways, I'm just trying to think of places to go and not be totally overheating. Idaho is interesting. They have these they pave the roads really nicely. They're like perfect. And then they come over and they chip seal the whole thing and they kind of just make them miserable again on purpose. I feel like I'm very overly cheap on certain items, like buying everything used, looking for closeouts, and now shopping for things in China. Whereas when I grew up, it used to be try to buy everything American made from American companies. And I don't know if it's just me, or maybe we have a movement of people starting to lose that American national pride of like buying something that says made in America. For me, I kind of feel like these companies are going to robotics so much, and that these corporations are firing so many people that I shouldn't have any more loyalty to Made in America and an American company, because they're not showing the loyalty to the American worker. If they can save some money, I think they'll lose their workforce the first opportunity they get. So I don't really have any guilt about now trying to go overseas and get good deals or cheaper bargains when everything American is so expensive and they don't seem to care about the citizens nor the employees anymore. But maybe that's just my opinion, and maybe I'm just disgruntled. Maybe you guys can correct my thinking in the comments, but just kind of how I've been feeling lately. Now, of course, I'm not talking about the small locally owned businesses. Like, there's not a local seamstress making me a t-shirt or making me a cycling helmet. So some of that kind of stuff that's all made in China anyways, or Taiwan, but yet they may claim to be an American business, but yet hire basically no one in America. And so I would rather support the local business selling used goods than buy brand new and stuff that's not even made here, nor employs any Americans to create it. This is my favorite yard. There's something about it. It's like going into Hobbit land. There's also usually cows hanging out under the trees, which adds to the ambiance. Also, they have a keg for a mailbox. I don't know. This is like a mini keg, maybe. How cool is that? I mean, it's pretty cool, since I'm answering my own question. As this is a ride where I don't really know what I'm doing or where I'm going, or just killing time basically before I have to go into work, I thought I'd come down to our old family lake house in Snug Harbor. It's about 15 miles north of Sandpoint, right on the river. It's really beautiful. growing up, I didn't know how good I had it with just being able to grow up in a place like this on the river, and I don't know, just have like lake time, boat time. Really, it's just like a luxury level of growing up. Actually, I got mixed up. This is the place where we actually grew up. There used to be just a tiny round house with like a golf ball, but they've done it a lot. Basically, this is nothing the same. But you know what? It looks like they still have the same slide and dock that I had growing up. They still have the same slide, diving board, the same dock as when I was growing up. This is wild. The neighbors, the Downings, they're still like exactly the same, like ridiculous colored house. Well, I would have thought they would have rebuilt this dock for sure. And this whole place is for sale. I couldn't imagine what I'd have to do to make enough money to buy this place back. But this was my favorite place ever growing up. I loved coming down here in the summers. I just wanted to spend winters down here all the time on the river. And it was a very sad day when it was sold. But this new house is like beautiful. Man, it's probably like $3 million. It was a different time back then. And it's so different now. I mean, there's no way I could ever afford the places I grew up, the land or house or anything really anywhere near the experience I had as a young child. It's kind of sad, you know, the place you're born, you know that you can't really afford to live there unless it's out of the generosity of your parents. It's hard to think of a place to be, but man, this is just so amazing. And it's funny how the Downings, this house is still like exactly the same. And I remember they were building this shop and this house and everything, and they were painting it that obnoxiously green blue color. So that way when he flies, I guess you can see it easier when he's flying his plane over the house. But the land's probably like over $2 million and the house is like so dilapidated. Alright, should probably get out of here. This is all private land now, and probably like don't like strangers coming in anymore. I think about the life hack to being able to buy a house, like a decent one, not like anything like super fancy or millions of dollars, but maybe just like a simple one. It doesn't seem like there's any hacks for people who drive on Uber and work in restaurants. It seems like it's maybe living in a tiny home, renting an apartment, and probably not even a nice apartment or a condo or a townhouse. There doesn't seem to be a way out. My only like solution is, I guess, is this not Uber, but this YouTube thing. But it's hard to figure out what people want to see. So I think the crank arm video did pretty well. So the reviews I know will get clicks, but I don't have enough gear or stuff to make reviews. And so I just have to resort to speaking about things on my mind and life issues. But at least I was very blessed to have had the upbringing I did. I got to experience that luxury childhood growing up. Tubing behind a boat, wakeboarding, skiing, snowboarding, mountain biking, really doing all of the sports I wanted to do. And I had a ton of friends. So at least I got to experience that. And it just stinks that in the second half of life, I have none of that. Like no friends, just a job that basically I make $600 or $700 a week at. And if I was to find an apartment, it would take at least half of my income every month. And I would be struggling to do anything I enjoyed. And so, in order to do the things that I love and be able to get some luxuries in life, it's a life of living in a vehicle. If I want to be in nice areas like this, and probably even nicer ones, where the illusion of making money is higher, like you're just making more per hour and more probably in service work like in California, but you're taxed so heavily that it probably equals out to about the same, I suppose. So I don't know where to go or where people do go. Perhaps this is the as good as it gets right here. I can go out and ride my bike and be in a small apartment. Just have like a short amount of time of normal, comfortable living, and have a resemblance of a normal life. Even though no one knows what normal is anymore.